FC26 is here, boys, and we are kicking things off with the toon, Newcastle United. The toon lost Alexander Isak to Liverpool in one of the most high-profile transfers in Premier League history. They missed out on some big-name players, but they did manage to get some quality in through Anthony Elanga and Nick Waltermader, who actually scored on his debut, leaving Newcastle with an exciting young squad, which I just can't resist using. So today we are jumping into FC26 for the first time, taking control of the toon with the ultimate end goal of winning them a Champions League trophy. So for the first time, let's jump into FC26 and get this Newcastle rebuild on the way. So welcome to FC26, boys, and I have to take my hat off to EA. They have gone all out this year to make career mode much more enjoyable. As you can see, we have got the manager live hub where EA have made challenge career modes, which you can do straight from the bat. And these challenge career modes actually look really interesting, boys. You have a set amount of objectives they want you to complete, and you've also got parameters in place, and every time you complete one of these challenges you win a reward, and it seems to be mostly kits that you win. And career mode customization has also been ramped up quite a bit. We now have new things like deeper simulation, which I don't have a clue what it does, and we have a new thing called unexpected events, which I cannot lie, I don't really know anything about. I've got a feeling this is going to be things like your club going into administration, players handing in transfer requests, and I think this could make rebuilds very interesting. And one thing that I really like, boys, which is going to help us make some really interesting rebuilds, you can start your career mode with a points deduction, and you can go up to 20 points deducted. While they are only small minor changes, they definitely are going to make career mode a lot more interesting in FC26. You have to say fair play to EA. So welcome to the first rebuild of FC26, boys, and this is the Newcastle United team we have loaded into, and it is looking absolutely amazing on paper. Not often we start off with an amazing team, and I have to say, boys, the menus just feel so much smoother. Now, looking at this Newcastle team, what is the first thing that we notice? Pace. We have got pace to burn on the wings. 91 pace Gordon, 92 pace Elanga. For me, given the fact we've got so much pace in the squad, we've got to go with the counter-attack tactical vision. And I think the 4-3-3 defend matches our ethos of counter-attacking football. We can soak up pressure and hit teams on the break and use Gordon and Elanga's blistering pace to get in behind. And as we can see, boys, we are using the live start points feature for our first rebuild. And look how cool the new menus are looking, boys. Newcastle start off in 10th place in the Premier League. Pretty poor start if you ask me. And the first competitive game of the Newcastle rebuild will actually be Barcelona in the Champions League, which is actually taking place in real life right now. Now, Newcastle do actually start off with a really strong team. Sandro Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes are two of the best players in the Premier League at 86 rated, at really good ages as well. And we've also got some very promising young players at the club as well. Lewis Hall is 21-year-old and 80 rated, a fantastic player. Livramento's 22-year-old and 80 rated. These two could be England's starting fullbacks heading into the World Cup with ease. We do also have Anthony Elanga, who looks like a frightening winger, and Nick Waltermader, the new signing to replace Alexander Isak. Now, as the transfer window is closed in real life, we won't be making any signings in season number 1. Now, if you're new to the channel, one thing we always do in our rebuilds is we let you guys pick the nations where we're going to be youth scouting. And for our first season as Newcastle boss, we are going with this comment, and we are going to be scouting Nigeria in our first scouting mission of FC26. And while we're in Nigeria, we are going to be looking for goalkeepers. You never know, we might find the next Vincent and Yima. Now, with there being no transfer business to be done in season 1, this is going to be the starting 11 that takes us into the first season, and this starting 11 is now locked in for season number 1. I think the goal for this season has to be to fill the trophy cabinet with some trophies and try and qualify for the Champions League again. Anything less is going to be a massive failure. So that's our season 1 preparations done, lads. Let's now simulate forward straight through to the end of the first season, and will our first season of FC26 be a memorable one? So we have arrived at the end of season 1, lads, and we've actually finished 4th in the Premier League, which is really impressive, boys. Qualifying for the Champions League once again in season 2. Also, lads, I'm a little bit torn on whether I like this new league table format. It's very clearly broken up into what you're going to be qualifying for. I'm a bit undecided on it. What do you boys think? And lads, I already hate FC25. We reached the FA Cup final and lost 9-8 on penalties to Arsenal. Are you joking me? Now, in the Champions League, boys, we actually went unbeaten in the league phase, finishing 7th, winning 4 and drawing 4 of our games, which would set up up a round of 16 tie with AS Monaco, which we would lose 4-3 over 2 legs, which is really disappointing, boys. Given our performance in the league phase, I was expecting a lot better. And this is how the Newcastle United team is looking at the end of season 1. This is an amazing team on paper, but you may notice there has been some change in the starting 11. That's because, boys, we did let a few players go off camera. We had a bid come in for Nick Pope and a bid come in for Fabian Schär. £9 million for both players. We sold them both to Celta Vigo and Napoli respectively. Jamal Lascelles has joined Brentford on a free contract. Emil Kraft has joined Trabzonspor on a free contract. We then sold Joe Willock to Leipzig, Jacob Murphy to Manchester United, and Harrison Ashby's left the club to Belgium. You may notice a common theme across all these players, boys. They're all aging players who will never be a starting option for us at Newcastle. And we did make the loan of Aaron Ramsdale into a permanent deal for just £12 million. I think he'll be a really adequate backup for us next season. And by making these sales, Malik Thiaw has moved up into the starting 11 and Aaron Ramsdale was our starting keeper for the rest of the season. But where do we need to improve the team in season number 2? Well, I think it's pretty obvious, boys. We need a first choice goalkeeper. We need a world-class goalkeeper at that. And while I know Joe Linton is a massive fan favourite at Newcastle, we will be looking to bring a world-class centre midfielder into the club as well. Tonali and Guimaraes are 2 of the best players in the Premier League. They need that third man with them. And at 29-year-old, Joe Linton's not going to get much better. Now, one thing I am actually having some difficulty with, lads, is renewing contracts. Now, I don't know if this is a bug. As we can see, Kieran Trippier's contract's expiring at the end of the season, and I just want to renew it. I go to renew it, and this player is not looking to engage in contract negotiations, meaning we have to release him. And now next season, the likes of Anthony Gordon will need a new deal. We can't give him a new deal. So we are actually running the risk of losing Anthony Gordon. We can't even try to give him a new deal. I hope this is just a bug and something that gets fixed very soon. Anyway, onto the stats. Nick Waltermaida made a really good start to his life as a Newcastle player, getting 19 goals. Gordon and Elanga were electric as well, both getting really good returns. Looks like our counter-attacking philosophy did work this season. So we have now arrived in season number 2 and we have got a whopping £227 million to bring a goalkeeper and centre midfielder to the club. Looks like FFP has gone out the window this season and we are taking full advantage. So, boys, we have made 3 new signings heading into season 2 and we have splashed £155 million on these players. The first player we signed was Nicholas Kuhn of Como. We've signed him for £30 million. He's 25-year-old, 80 rated, looks like a really decent player. The second player we signed was our first choice goalkeeper. Lucas Chevalier has joined the club. You cannot go wrong with this guy in career mode. He's 24-year-old, 84 rated with amazing stats. We have signed him for £55 million. I'm really confident he's going to be our first choice goalkeeper for the duration of the rebuild. And now time for our marquee signing of season number 2, Ezekiel Palacios of Bayer Leverkusen. He is 85 rated, 27-year-old, amazing player. But we have really splashed the cash on this man. £70 million to bring him to St James's Park. But he is a genuine world-class midfielder and these 3 signings are very good signings, I have to say. Now, boys, we have got some key first team players that I do want to renew contracts with. Are we going to be allowed? No. No, boys, we do have an issue because Sven Botman has handed in a transfer request, as we can see, meaning he is going to leave for free in January. Don't have a clue why the guy wants to leave, but we're probably going to be forced to sell him in this transfer window and bring a replacement in for him, which I really didn't want to do, but it would be absolutely terrible business to lose him on a free. And we also cannot renew Dan Burns' contract. What is going on? Why can't I renew these contracts? By the way, lads, I think it's very important that I share this information with you. If you have a player who hands in a transfer request in FC26, bids for that player will automatically be accepted, as bids for Sven Botman have been accepted of £40 million. I wanted to try and get at least £50 million for it, but there's absolutely nothing I can do to try and sort this out. And as we can see, Sven Botman has joined Liverpool for £40 million. Really bad deal for the club. Antonito Cordero has gone out on loan as well this season. Thankfully, we have got £127 million remaining in our bank account, so we can get in a very good replacement for Botman. And, boys, we have gone out and signed Sven Botman's replacement. Leonardo Bellarade of Marseille has joined the club, £38 million. He is 27-year-old, 83 rated, really solid defender. Everton were also in for him, but he has come to St James's Park and he will be Sven Botman's replacement. Now, this season we are once again using your comments on where we should be scouting, and for this season we are going with this comment: we are going to be scouting China, and while we're in China we are going to be looking for attackers. Now, we're not expecting any more business to be done in season season number 2, so this will be the Newcastle United team to take us into our new season. This team is looking fantastic on paper. The bench is also looking decent as well. We could do with 1 or 2 defensive reinforcements, but that will come. Our starting 11 is locked in for the new season, and I'll be really surprised if this is not one of the strongest teams in the Premier League. So without further ado, I don't think there's anything else we can do in season 2 but simulate forward straight through to the end of the season. And with the starting 11 that we have now got, I'm expecting some trophies because our trophy cabinet's looking pretty barren. So we have arrived at the end of season 2, lads, and we have been incredible this season. We have finished 3rd in the Premier League on 83 points, only lost 3 of our 38 games, and we went on to score 91 goals in all competitions this season, which is insane. But this now means Champions League football has been secured for season 3. But I just want to cast your mind back to the end of season 1. Remember, we finished 4th in the league, and despite this, we weren't even in the Champions League this season. I think Aston Villa won the Europa League in season 1, meaning they qualified for the Champions League at our expense. We dropped into the Europa League, but it's probably a good thing that we dropped into the Europa League because we went on to win it, boys. We smashed Monaco 4-1 in the final. That guarantees us Champions League football in season number 3, and it's our first major trophy of the rebuild. We would once again suffer in the FA Cup, losing on penalties for the 2nd consecutive season. This time Wolves beat us in the 4th round, and this is how the Newcastle team is looking at the end of season number 2. Now, Europa League winning side is looking amazing on paper. Tonali is now 90 rated. We've got a lot of players who could hit 90 rated by the end of next season, but I have got an idea of where I want to improve this team heading into the 3rd season, and I want to solidify that defence. I want to bring in a world-class centre-back to partner Balerde, as Theo is an amazing player, but he's just really growing quite slowly. And we are going to need to bring some players in for our bench. We need a full-back and centre-back, and I think if we nail the signings in season 3, we could be in for a very successful season. Now, 2 more players handed in transfer requests in season 2, which means they are guaranteed to leave the club. There's nothing you can do about it. Harvey Barnes and Lewis Miley have both left the club for about £30 million. These are 2 players that I actually really wanted to keep, and I'm especially gutted about Lewis Miley. And the over 30 curse has continued as well. We cannot give new deals to Dan Burn, Matt Target, or this goalkeeper. But in terms of stats this season, we banged in the goals for fun, and Anthony Gordon was our best player, getting 39 goals and 11 assists. Anthony Elanga and Nick Waltermader were amazing as well, both getting over 20 goals, and Wissa chipped in with 11 as well. Our front 3 have been frightening in this rebuild, and I'm putting it all down to our style of play with the counter-attacking system. So we have arrived in season 3, and we've once again got a massive transfer budget of £244 million. This is an eye-watering amount of money. So we are kicking off season 3 with 3 new signings. One of them is very, very interesting, by the way, and I'm happy with the business we have done in season 3. The first player we signed was Julian Chabot, who joins us from Stuttgart, £20 million. He is 29-year-old, 80 rated, really good defender who's also 6'5" and left-footed. He's going to be a really decent backup centre-back going into season 3. I think he'll be a good replacement for Dan Burn. We then signed a backup striker who can also play on the wing. Benedikt Hollaback has joined the club from Mainz in Germany for £27 million. 26-year-old, 80 rated, really mobile attacker. He's been brought in because Johan Wissa's stats have started to decrease as he's aging, and Hollaback will be our backup striker going into season number 3. And now, boys, it's time for our centre-back we've brought to the club, and this one is a very interesting signing because we have re-signed Sven Botman from Liverpool, boys, for £65 million. He is 27-year-old, 86 rated, 6'4", left-footed, and he is absolutely amazing. Didn't want to sell him in the first place. I'm gutted to lose him. I'm so glad I've managed to bring him back to St James's Park, and he has signed on a 5-year deal as well, boys. So I'm only expecting one change to our starting 11 heading into season number 3. Botman is back in the side like he never left. We have had quite a bit of change to our bench, and we are looking a lot stronger heading into season number 3. Chabot, Theo, and Hollaback all dropping to the bench makes us look a lot stronger. We've got options in every single position now, and we're also going to give Cordero a run on the bench. 76 rated, 20-year-old Spanish winger. But with that being said, lads, our starting 11 is locked in for season 3. We cannot make any more changes. So this season we'll once again be sending out our youth scouts, but we can't do a rebuild in England and not actually scout England. And we are going to be looking for midfielders and wingers while we're journeying around the country. Now, kicking off season 3, boys, we are in the UEFA Super Cup, and we are taking on Real Madrid. And we would go on to win the UEFA Super Cup, lads. We beat the champions Champions League winners Real Madrid 2-1. Livramento and Gordon with the goals. Gordon with a last-minute winner, by the way. What a way to start off the season. That's a UEFA Super Cup added to the trophy cabinet, and it's not often you win this trophy. Now, after making our 3 new signings, some players have left the club. We've sold Johan Wissa to Arsenal for £29 million, and we have loaned out 3 of our players. Trevan Sanusi, William Osula and Joe White have all gone out on loan. We're going to be keeping a keen eye on William Osula as he's 24-year-old and 75 rated. Dropping down to the Championship, he needs to kick on this season. There is nothing left to do for us in season number 3 but simulate forward straight through to the end of the season, and let's see how the Toon Army get on. So we have arrived at the end of season number 3, lads, and I'm absolutely gutted. We've finished second in the Premier League again, 1 point behind eventual winners Liverpool, finishing on 90 points, winning 28 of our games. We had 50 goal difference. Absolutely gutting that we haven't managed to win the Premier League with that kind of performance. One thing it does show though is our Newcastle team is a fantastic side. But this season we were really poor in the FA Cup, getting knocked out in the 3rd round by Spurs 2-1 at home. That is simply not good enough. But we have made the Champions League final, boys, and we will be taking on PSG at the Allianz Arena. Now in the league phase we were excellent. We finished 4th out of all the sides, winning 6 and losing 2, meaning we went straight into the round of 16 where we would take on Arsenal and beat them 4-2 over 2 legs despite losing the 2nd leg. In the quarter-final, we would beat Inter Milan 5-2 over 2 legs. We would then head into an all-English semi-final against Manchester City, who we beat 3-2 over 2 legs, while PSG beat Bayern on penalties. And we are kicking FC26 off in style, boys. The team we are taking into the Champions League final is ridiculous. 7 players over 90 rated in this starting 11. The lowest rated player in the starting 11 is 86 rated. This team is absolutely ridiculous, boys, and I'm going to say we're probably going to have a stronger team than PSG heading into the final. We've also got a really strong bench as well, boys. Only 1 player below 80 rated. It's not often we get to use superstar teams in one of these rebuilds, and I'm really excited to see how this team plays in the final. Now, in terms of stats, Anthony Gordon was our best player again this season, getting 28 goals and 9 assists. Walter Maeda, Elanga and Guimaraes were all amazing as well, but it is now time for our first Hall of Fame inductee of FC26, and I'm going to give it to Anthony Gordon, boys. He has had 2 amazing goal scoring seasons back to back, and just going off stats alone, Anthony Gordon is the Hall of Famer for the Newcastle United rebuild, and he would do me a massive favour if he's shown up with a winning goal in the Champions League final. So it is Champions League final time, boys, but the first thing we're going to be doing is checking out PSG's team. They've got Marmoush Dembele, Zaire Emery, an academy player, João Neves, Vitinha. Do you know what? They have got a few 90 rated players like Dembele, João Neves, Vitinha and Kimi, but I would say looking at their team, ours is definitely the stronger of the 2, probably making us favourites heading into this final. Now, I haven't actually played a single match in FC25 so far, so literally anything could happen in this final. We've made a good start, lads. We're putting all the early pressure on PSG. Elanga. Blocked again. PSG's defence coming in strong again. Feels really smooth though, lads. The gameplay is really good. I may have to do an RTJ at some point in this FIFA. So between Chevalier and Livramento. No real chances yet, lads, 30 minutes into the game, which is a bit of a staple on this channel. We don't really create many chances in our Champions League finals. Gordon, it's a good ball. Palacios, that's a great ball to Elanga. First real chance of the game, Elanga's in. Elanga, nope. What a save by ter Stegen. Gordon, what a tackle. Oh, that's the first real chance of the game, 40 minutes in. Should be winning, boys. Maybe I could have took an extra touch. And that's going to be half time, boys. A game of very few chances. Elanga's big moment, stopped by ter Stegen. I'm hoping for some chances to be created in the second half because I really don't want to give you a boring Champions League final. That's brilliant from Livramento. Bruno. Oh, he's at the post. No way. So close to taking the lead, boys. Gordon with the ball in. And it's going to be easy pickings for ter Stegen. Shot from Zaire Emery, easily saved by Chevalier. 65 on the clock. Can we find the opening goal? Livramento up to Elanga. Back to Bruno. This is another chance. What a save, Walter Maeda with the rebound. It's 1-0 to Newcastle. 72 minutes into this Champions League final. Walter Maeda there to tap home the rebound. Elanga could be in there. What a ball. Elanga's got the pace. Elanga's got the pace to seal it. He seals it, boys. 2-0 to Newcastle. Anthony Elanga with the goal. And I'm confident to say that is game over. What a ball from Livramento. Great pace from Elanga. And this is a sensational finish to wrap up the tie.
A few moments later.
No. Alright. Maybe it's not game over. Dembele scores literally straight from kick-off for PSG. If we concede again, I'm quitting YouTube. Into added time now, boys. This is literally the last chance of the game. No. Oh, it's an own goal. No way. It's 2-2. I'm quitting YouTube. No way. That is literally the luckiest, scrappiest goal of all time. Dewey just gets in. It's a great... Oh, it just took a massive deflection and gone in off Livramento. And we'll go into extra time, lads, after being 2-0 up with 10 minutes to play. Imagine if we kick FC26 off, bottling a 2-goal lead and losing in the Champions League final. We're going to bring Joelinton on for Palacios. Oh, my God. PSG nearly taking the lead. It's going to go to penalties, isn't it, boys? It's going to go to penalties. Right, we have got 15 minutes to try and find a goal. Which he does. This is a big chance. This literally is the last chance of the game. Gordon, Joelinton, wins it, boys, in the 115th minute. The substitute Joelinton with the goal. But PSG have still got 5 minutes, boys. And last time I said we'd won the game. Even the pubs are going wild, but we've already bottled a 2-goal lead once. Oh, it's just a simple finish for Joelinton. So much space at the edge of the 6-yard box. But there's the full-time whistle, boys. For the first time in FC26, we have won the Champions League. And we went through a real phase in FC25 where every single final just had no chances. This was the polar opposite. What a game this was. And all that is left to do, boys, is lift the Champions League trophy. Bruno will do the honours. And Newcastle United are the champions of Europe. And that is the first rebuild of FC26 boxed off. So just want to say a massive thank you for watching the first rebuild of FC26. I hope you have enjoyed it. Don't worry though, boys, we've got some really challenging rebuilds to come. And I will see you in the next rebuild where we're going to be taking over a really struggling Scottish side.